This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to today's episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio, where we broadcast Monday through Friday from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And if we've inspired you to action and you want to give us a phone call and talk about it, you can do so by hitting us up at 347-857-3958. Again, the number here to the studio is 347-857-3958. Now, if you're watching us at www.cruzandhughes.com, you'll notice that I do not have Irvin sitting to my left today. Irvin is out on business. But we have our good friend, Mr. Bertrand McHenry, who's going to co-host the show with us today. And Bertrand, I want to say thank you for coming in. We can always depend on you in a moment's notice.
This is great. I love it.
And how was your day today, sir?
It was a great Monday. I'm a Monday morning person.
Is that right?
Absolutely. And it was a great Monday. Had a lot of appointments and drove a lot of business today. So it was excellent.
Well, that is a good thing.
How about you?
My Monday was pretty good as well.
Yeah.
Pretty good as well. You know, I never really looked at myself as being a Monday morning person, but I think I really am. I feel very energized at the beginning of the week. We always start our business off with a Monday morning meeting at 8 a.m. That's every Monday, no matter what. Even if members of our management team are in other cities, they call in, and it just sort of sets the tone for the week. We sort of talk about the things that we've accomplished last week, the things that we want to set up to accomplish this week, and it sort of holds us accountable because every meeting, we start off with where we were last Monday, and you don't want to be the guy that's sitting in there that had 3 or 4 things to take care of, and you didn't accomplish.
And you didn't do it.
I feel good every Monday because I don't ever want to be that guy. You know,
isn't that the truth?
That is the truth. So now, as far as your business is concerned, for those of you who may not have ever seen Bertrand before, and I don't know how that is if you're an avid watcher of the show, because Bertrand has been a guest on the show several times. He's co-hosted several times. Bertrand owns a company called the Referral Institute. And Bertrand, why don't you just give your business website if anybody wants to learn more about you and what you do?
Absolutely. Thanks. It's www.referralinstitutehouston.com, and we are a training organization. We teach business owners how to develop entire customized referral marketing strategies that lead to a steady stream of personally recommended business.
And that is the best business I think that you can get is something that's personally recommended. I mean, to me, I find myself having to sell less. If someone says, hey, I know this guy, I vouch for his work, give him a phone call. At least that gives me an opportunity to show what I can do.
No question. It's such a potent form of advertising.
Wow. Well, tell you what, if you want to know more about Bertrand's business, again, Bertrand, your website is?
www.referralinstitutehouston.com.
Referralinstitutehouston.com. Now, Bertrand and I have a guest today. If you're watching us at cruzandhughes.com, you'll notice that we have a stellar-looking gentleman sitting to Bertrand's left, and we're going to talk to him a little bit today. But before we do so, let me give him the proper introduction. Our guest today is Mr. Oscar Payton. He is the CEO of a company called Payton's Blend Coffee. And Mr. Payton is the CEO and founder of Payton Blends Coffee. And Payton's Blend Coffee is a specialty coffee company that features a proprietary assortment of more than 2,100 blends of coffee. That is a lot of different blends.
It is.
Now, Payton's Blend offers their customers many different types of coffee from all over the world at affordable prices. And if you are yourself a coffee connoisseur, then Payton's Blend has a high-quality coffee blend that you are sure to love. And I want to say welcome to the show, Oscar.
Thank you. It's a blessing being on here. I'm enjoying myself. Just being a part of the small business today with you guys. It's so powerful what you guys are doing on the air and helping to groom other entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
I'm excited about it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for recognizing our hard work because we do work hard at this. Let's talk about the coffee business. Let's start there.
Okay.
How'd you end up in the coffee business?
Well, actually, it was just a powerful event in our lives because we found out that there were a lot of coffee consumers. But people would complain about the texture, the taste, the flavoring, and they were saying, and the pricing. Mm-hmm. So we decided, we ventured into a coffee company and we were dealing in bulks, and they particularly didn't handle bulk. So we decided to look for something and decided to go on our own.
Really?
And of course, in us investigating it, we found out that we could become our own coffee company. And so we dived into it after trying several blends, several flavors. We like what we've tasted, and we found out that no one could compare taste-wise.
Wow. Now, Bertrand, I don't know if you're aware, but Oscar brought some coffee to us a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, and it did go very quickly here in the office. So I will say that the people here, at least in my office, really appreciate your blend of coffee, and they thought it tastes pretty good. So now, let me just get this out of the way. If somebody does want to taste your coffee, where can they go to get it?
Right now, because we're still structuring and getting everything in set place, they have to call our 800 number. We have an 88 number, 888-550-4619. That's 888-550-4619.
Okay.
So we're basically right now we're setting up online so they can order online. We're setting up now to move further in some other areas as well.
Okay. Now tell Bertrand and I a little bit about yourself, your background. Lead us up to the coffee bit. You told us how you got in the coffee business, but tell us a little bit about you.
Well, first of all, I'm a native Houstonian.
Okay.
I lived 21 years in the state of Florida. And, of course, I started out in college at University of Houston. I was a Cougar football player.
Okay.
I played in Cotton Bowl, 77. And we kind of just left there, and I got into ministry. I became a minister, and I was just led to Florida. And in Florida, went into child care, the school systems, transportational services, bus services. We've done a multiplicity of things.
Okay.
So I been in the oil field industry. We've had our own radio stations periodically.
Okay.
So we've done a multiplicity of things. But what really led me to the coffee was I had an accident. Basically, I lost a large percentage of my vision.
Wow.
I lost a lot of health, had open heart surgery, double bypass. So I was limited to what I could do.
Surely.
And so I'm not the kind of sit down, roll over, lay down, and die guy.
Yeah.
Well, I had to look for something.
Not a man that played in Cotton Bowl, I'm certain.
I can't do that. I refuse to give up. One thing we were taught in college, amen, to what we had called Camp Fun.
Mm-hmm.
We were number one in the nation for a couple of years in conditioning.
Okay.
And they taught us never to quit, never to give up, never to stop. So that kind of stuck with me most of my life, where I don't know how to quit.
Wow.
In fact, I don't know what that word means.
Now, let's go back to your health, because
Sure.
I think that there are a number of individuals who, at least a few that I've talked to, Bertrand, that use any excuse that they can in order not to achieve the type of life that they really want for themselves.
I keyed in on that as well.
Did you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so and I'm sitting here thinking about, now here's a man who's had some health challenges. You said that you lost most of the vision that you've had.
Right.
You had open heart surgery, did you?
Open
say?
heart surgery, double bypass. Yes.
And now here you are. You're running a company, and you're also a pastor, correct?
Correct. That is correct, sir. Senior pastor of New Beginnings Worldwide Outreach Ministry. To elaborate on what you said earlier, many times we allow ourselves to give up. We throw in the towel a little too early. Mm-hmm. For 5 years, they wouldn't let me even walk. They wouldn't let me jog. They wouldn't let me lift or weight or anything. The doctors told me that they were afraid that at any moment I'd have congestive heart failure, or at any moment I would just have a heart attack and die.
Okay.
Well, I refuse to settle for that. I believe that it's not over until it's over.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
And if the Lord opened my eyes and give me health and strength, I refuse to sit back and depend and lean upon the system.
Absolutely.
I refuse to do that. So I think we have to get up and do what we have to do, actually, There's a time when we lay down and lick our wounds,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a time when we have to get up and say, hey, wait a second. A winner never quits.
That's right.
And a quitter never wins.
And actually getting up and moving forward is probably healthier than just
Absolutely.
convalescing.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah, it was.
There's probably a lot more healing in that than sitting around.
I agree totally, because when I was sitting down, accustomed to traveling, I was booked 2 and 3 years in advance, doing evangelistical work all across the country, as well as pastoring. And sitting down was a harsh thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was like being in a mental prison,
Yeah.
and I had to get out of there. I just couldn't survive it. I had to figure a way of escape.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, you seem like a man so full of life, so full of vigor, so I have to ask, I mean, how's your health been since you're...
It's been awesome.
Okay.
It's been fantastic because, again, I don't let the aches and the pains stop me or hinder me from doing what's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I relate it all back to sports.
Yeah.
Because I was taught never to quit, never to give up, to overlook the pain.
Yeah.
They always have taught us no pain, no gain.
I know. My coaches used to tell us that, too. No pain, no gain. Now, how long have you been in the coffee business? How old is your company?
Our company is very young.
Okay.
We're just a few months old.
Okay.
Because, again, the doctors just released me. So once I got released, I had to begin to look for another means and another method of being able to work where it wouldn't be a lot of strenuous physical work for me.
Okay.
And the coffee industry came up to be number one.
Okay.
I'm very excited about the coffee industry.
Well, and I've heard that coffee sells almost, if not better than petroleum. So, I mean, it's one of those top commodities. So I think that you're in a good business.
Yeah. Well, we get a lot of feedback, and people are loving our coffee because we're doing samples pretty much everywhere. Restaurants, hotels will give them samples, and they'll try it, and they fall in love with it. We haven't had one yet that have not enjoyed our coffee and our flavor. And don't even begin to discuss yet talking about pricing. I tell you, we're just excited.
We're definitely going to get into pricing. We're going to go to a short break. Our guest today is Mr. Oscar Payton. He is the CEO and founder of a company called Payton's Blend Coffee. He's a gentleman that Bertrand and I have had the pleasure of meeting a few months ago. Lovely man. We respect what he's doing. We decided to bring him on the show and talk about his business. And if you'd like to try his coffee, you can give him a phone call toll free at 888-550-4619. Again, that number is 888-550-4619. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the publication that is for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. If you'd like to know what we tell those entrepreneurs, you can get a free copy of the magazine that we produce each and every month by going to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com, putting in your email information, and we'd be glad to send you one each and every month. More in a moment with Oscar Payton. Stay with us.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market,
And this alternative is...
coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, our guest today is Mr. Oscar Payton. He is the CEO of a company called Payton's Blend Coffee. If you'd like to see what he does at his company, you can go to his website, which is paytonsblend.com, and it's Paytons, paytonsblend.com. Or you can give him a phone call at 888-550-4619. Again, his number is 888-550-4619. Now, we're talking about the coffee business. We talked a little bit about how you got into the coffee business. You know, one of the things I like about this show, Bertrand, if I must say so, is that people have asked, you know, what does it take to become a guest on the show? Do I have to have been in business 10 or 15 years, done something just outrageously profitable? And that's really not the case. I mean, one of the things that we like to do is promote businesses that we feel are doing the right thing, people who are doing the right thing. And from the first moment that I met Mr. Payton, I was just struck by the type of man that you are, and the struggles that you've persevered and overcome. We had to bring you on the show.
Thank you.
So we are definitely happy to have you here. And if you missed it in the last segment, your coffee company is, again, how old? I want you to say.
Just a few months old, actually.
A few months old. So you're just getting started.
Just getting off.
Now, this isn't your first business, though.
No, I've had trucking firms. I've had transportational services. I had bus services. I've been in the oil field industry. I've had a burger bar company. So I've done a multiplicity of things.
Now, so you know your way around being a small businessman.
Fairly well. Fairly well.
Now, we know too that it can be a struggle being in business for yourself. And that's one of the things, Mr. Payton, that we like to talk about on this show, or there's certain things that you have to overcome. Now, just would you please share with us some of the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome in getting your coffee business started, and getting your name and your brand out there?
Well, one of the things has been for us, being in a financial crunch, to be honest with you, that was a major issue for us. But I believe in looking for other options, other ways out of it. Mm-hmm. And of course, being a preacher, being a pastor, I believe that prayer works.
Surely.
And I definitely believe that that's the way I started my day. That's the way I start every business. Mm-hmm. So I begin to seek God for wisdom and for direction. And many times we allow roadblocks, or we allow things to derail us, to throw us off track. I'm a firm believer that no does not mean no.
Right.
I just believe that if you tell me I can't come in through the front door, you didn't tell me that I couldn't come through the back door.
Right.
So,
or the side door.
Or the side door, or the window. There you go. So whichever, I can fit in, I'm coming in.
You know what's really interesting about this business that you've got right now is that the good news is that it's a consumer business, so it's consumable, right. So people use it up and they got to go buy more.
Right.
The bad news is that it's the consumable business. And so people already have habits ingrained. So your challenge is how to find new inroads into people's habits, how to switch them into buying your product. So how do you go about doing that?
Well,
education?
Educational, but once they try the product,
right.
It speaks for itself.
Really?
I sit back and I laugh when I go to places, go to offices, or go to a meeting, and I just give them the coffee, let them brew it while we're there, and ask them what do they think about the coffee. Mm-hmm. And, of course, they tell me where can I buy it at.
Okay.
It's just that good. And when I begin to talk pricing, it's exceptionally well then.
Well, you've mentioned price twice, so let's get on price.
Well, with our pricing compared to other places, and I guess not really calling names, our prices are much lower.
Okay.
And you get a better grade of coffee, and you get a better texture of coffee. Mm-hmm. The texture has just been powerful. People have been talking about it. That bitter taste that you get normally from a lot of company places, company flavors, you don't get that with us. Well, it's just,
So what's different? The process?
The process probably, and the fact that it's specialty blend coffee. It's Payton blend.
Okay, yeah, right.
The specialty thing of it is our name. We just have exclusive taste buds, exquisite taste buds, and it's so powerful that we're doing something so unique. There are a lot of companies out there that are selling coffee, but people want some flavor. People want they want to get a boost. They want to get their taste buds to light up.
Okay.
And so that's what we were looking for. We were looking for the pricing of the beans. We were looking for the roasting of the beans, getting it roasted just right, blended just right, picked at the right time. And so, God allowed us to find that place.
Now, and you said that you were looking at several people or several companies when you were making your decision.
Right.
Now, some of the coffees that you sell are actually grown all over the place. So you can get coffee that's South American.
Yes.
So if someone has a specific type of taste in coffee that they like, they can call you, let you know what that's
correct.
And you can help pair them up with the blend
that's
very near or better than what they're used to.
That is correct.
And cheaper.
And cheaper, definitely cheaper. And, whether it be Blue Mountain coffee or whether it be from Puerto Rico, or whether it be from Spain or wherever your taste buds will allow you to go and you want it, we can get it for you. Okay. And we can get it for you at a reasonable, lower price.
Okay.
And that's the exciting part about this,
Now, and when we say pricing, now I know that there's some places, and I won't say any names, Starbucks, where
now you promise not to do that.
Where you're going to pay $5, $7, $8 for a cup of coffee. I mean, is it truly necessary to charge that much for coffee? I'm not a big coffee drinker.
Right.
So for me to pay that much money for a cup of coffee, I personally wouldn't do it, but my wife does it every single day, sometimes twice a day. And now, how does a cup of coffee compare in price, say to some of the big name places?
Well, I won't hit the name you just named, but I'll elaborate on that. For instance, they may charge you $7, $8 for a cup. We'll give you that same cup for $4 or $5. Or if they charge you $6 for a cup, we give you the same cup for $4. So, we're able to get our pricing where we want it, because to us, it's not about making the money.
Okay.
It's about serving the customer.
Mm-hmm.
It's about giving you something for your value, and not only just meeting, say, the upper class or a middle class, but, there are other people that like coffee as well. The lower class like coffee,
Absolutely.
People that can't afford full meals love coffee.
Right.
So if you make it affordable for them, then guess what? They can get something to make them feel good as well.
Okay.
So that's our true purpose in this. We found a better way and a productive way, actually, that people can afford our coffee and not be in a strain. And, the husband doesn't have to be a little upset with the wife for spending all this money on coffee. If she wants coffee, just let her call Payton's Blend. So
well, with that being
we can solve that problem.
With that being said, you can give Payton's Blend a call toll free at 888-550-4619. You can call them and talk to them about the type of coffee that you are used to or accustomed to. But then I would encourage you to try something different. I mean, you got 2,100 blends of coffee. You don't have to be satisfied with just one. I mean, you got something that you can try different every day of the year if you like. Now,
absolutely.
Now, is the only place that I could find your coffee either online or by calling you? Is it sold in any stores right now?
Right now, we're in Sushi location. We're getting ready to go into some other major entities. I don't really want to call their names right now, but they've already committed verbally to being a part of us. In fact, we have a meeting tomorrow with one of our chain stores, and they have over 300 stores. They're interested in our coffee as well. So we're going to go and negotiate a contract and see what happens, because once they taste our coffee, it really causes people to say, wait a second. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I love the taste of this coffee.
Certainly.
I love the texture of this coffee. So we got restaurants and hotels where we've already set up meetings with owners that we gave samples to. They want us to come back. Because they're very impressed with the product. And as one of my very dear friends says, if I may say, Steve Levine, he calls me and tells me that he has only one complaint with our coffee. And I often say, well, what's that? He said, it runs out so fast.
well, you know that there are a lot of people who think that when you're in the coffee business, they think that you're associated or affiliated with some type of network marketing company.
Correct.
And I want to make certain that I establish that Payton's Blend Coffee is not part of a network marketing company. It's not any of those things that you've heard about. You guys are packaging this up in your name, and you're selling it to the public. And if they want to consume it, they purchase it directly from you, and it's shipped to them. Correct.
Correct. And another thing, we were with a marketing firm, a multi-marketing leveling firm, and of course they will not bend. They will not work with you concerning based on where you are. It's more, you got to come up to this status, you got to have this amount, or you out.
Yeah.
And what we've discovered as coming in, being a part, we really couldn't make the money that was necessary because it's structured a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you don't fall into that structure, then you miss the mark. So we decided that we need to do something that people can get and can afford and can enjoy. So therefore, we came up with Payton's Blend. And like I said earlier, we're getting ready now to talk to chain stores that are contacting us, people that are restaurants are interested in us, or and I don't mind telling you, even clubs. We got some main clubs in the city of Houston that are major clubs that have already committed to putting our coffee into their places. It's just that good.
Well,
and the pricing just blows them out of the water.
That's great.
Well, and like I say, I'm not a big coffee drinker, and I think the reason is because coffee, a lot of coffees have that bitter finish. I have a sensitive palate.
Okay.
And so, and one of the things that I did notice about your brand is that it was very smooth with a smooth finish, sort of milky, I think, if you will. So I was really impressed with it. If you would like to get your hands on some Payton's Blend coffee, you can go to paytonsblend.com. But moreover, you can give them a call toll free at 888-550-4619. Now, before we go to break, I do have to ask, now, how do you balance your spiritual duties along with the demands of running a small coffee business? I'm certain that you only have 24 hours in a day. Last I checked. So how do you do that?
Well, it's called discipline. You have to discipline yourself. We wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock. We have 6 o'clock prayer in the mornings. We have 10 o'clock prayer at midday, and I balance it all together. I go out and meet my appointments as well, and then we have 8:30 prayer again. So if you notice, we continue to put everything with prayer. We tie it all in together because it works. And so what we've learned to do, or I've learned to do, I've learned that you've got to have balance in your life.
Okay.
I teach our kids we must have balance. We must understand that business comes before pleasure.
That's great.
So if we will take our time properly and groom ourselves and prepare ourselves for the day, it makes a world of difference.
Sure does.
We're going to hold it right there. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come back, and we have a guest in the studio today. His name is Oscar Payton. He's the CEO of Payton's Blend Coffee. Stay with us more in a moment with Mr. Payton. And this segment was brought to you by Sales Nexus. It is the top CRM customer relationship management tool on the web. We use CRM on this show, and the only CRM for us is Sales Nexus. If you'd like to take a free tour of what they do, you can go to salesnexus.com. More in a moment with Mr. Oscar Payton.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cuny is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancuny.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
Disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting at a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Oscar Payton. He is the CEO and founder of a company called Payton's Blend Coffee, and I've tried the coffee myself. The coffee is very good. If you like to go to his website and see the types of blends and some of the other things that the company does, you can go to paytonsblend.com. And again, that's spelled Payton, like Walter Payton. Paytonsblend.com, or you can give them a call toll free at 888-550-4619. Again, the number is 888-550-4619.
You know, we were talking earlier at the top of the show about 2,100 blends is what you said. Okay, so my question to you is, how did you arrive at those blends? Did you pick them out yourself?
No, actually, we went through the rotary. The roaster.
Okay.
The roaster was already connected to the different manufacturers, and they have people come in once a year and grade the coffee.
Okay.
Taste the coffee. And by them getting from 2,100 different places and from all over the country, and they come together and we blend it and taste it and see what we think about it. So,
and are you part of that tasting process?
No, I'm not. In fact, I'm looking forward to becoming a part of it. We're the new kids on the block.
Yeah. Or do you have a position for official taster? Because I'd like to throw my hat in the ring, because I am a coffee drinker.
I'd have to talk to a roaster about that. I'll make sure we do that.
I work for cheap, just coffee.
That's all right. Just pay me in coffee.
Exactly.
That's a good way to get coffee.
That's a great way. Great way to get
I'm
coffee.
shrewd.
Now, let's talk a little bit about small business. And we talked a little bit about some of the challenges that you've been dealt here over the past few years, and how you've overcome those.
All right.
Now, give me some of the lessons that you've learned being self-employed years in the past that you could share with our listener, so as to empower them to be able to overcome those same challenges.
Well, one of the things that I've learned is that we can't spread ourselves too thin. Number one. One of the mistakes I made years ago, I spread myself too thin. And I had to be in Kansas City, had to be in Florida one week, Kansas City the next, and had to go to other outreach ministries, and it was just too much. You know, it's hard to really give yourself 100% to 100 different things. So, you know, I've learned now that we want to take it slow.
Okay.
You know, the spiritual side is first in my life. But after that, the first thing in my life now is the passion for coffee.
Gotcha.
And the next thing I would tell people is many times we have excuses, or we make excuses. I've learned years ago that excuses are for those who need them. I'm a firm believer that if you tell me I can't, then you tell me why I cannot.
Yeah.
Because I believe that I can.
Certainly.
You see, and how will I know until I try it?
You know, and I believe that is the attitude that a small business person has to have. I mean, when you get into small business, there's going to be a line of people who are going to tell you that you can't and that you shouldn't. And some of these people are even qualified to tell you that.
That's right.
But you still have to overcome them.
That's right. Well,
qualified and have your best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
But we've talked about that many times before. The entrepreneurial mindset is to go where no man has gone before, no matter what.
That's right.
Yeah, just keep on keeping on.
That's right. Well, I'll give you a quick overview of what happened to me. I was working for a former company, and it wasn't my own then.
Okay.
And I was told as I was trying to get into the government that I could not get in those doors. Even through the company that I was with, which was $1 billion company. They said we could forget it. It would not happen. Well, they told me I couldn't come in the front door, but I discovered that there was a back door. And I discovered that there were some qualifications that would get you in the back door. And so the same people that told me you will not get into our doors were the same people I went to the Pentagon a couple of times and met. And they were amazed and astonished. How did you do this? How did you get there? I said, well, I told you you'd see me again.
Well, the thing is, I guess, is to be persistent. But now, you just made the comment that you were doing too much and you spread yourself too thin.
Correct.
Do you think that that's what attributed to some of the health problems that you had, a high-paced lifestyle?
I firmly believe so.
Okay.
Because my sleep ethics were not there.
Okay.
You know, I was constantly trying to see which way we're going to go next, what we're going to do, how we're going to set this up, how we're going to lay this out. And, you know, you have to use some natural sense, wisdom, and say, okay, I'm one person now. Let me settle down and take care, because your body will speak to you. It'll give you signs of fatigue. It'll give you signs to let you know that you're over pushing it. And sometimes we push and we push and we push, and we fail to realize that our body will speak to us.
That's right.
It will tell us that, hey, you need to back down. You need to slow up. And when my body tells me these things, that's when I hurry up and obey. I've learned the hard way pretty much, you know.
Absolutely.
And so eating habits makes a world of difference as well. Over the years, some of the biggest mistakes I made was eating greasy foods.
Okay.
You know, and so now I minimize them. I haven't stopped them, but I minimize myself, because after having open heart surgery and knowing that my bowels were clogged with grease. It was not because I was unhealthy, but it's because they were clogged up. And so I learned the hard way, you know, be careful in the foods that we take, the food intake. We have to watch that, because many times we're in a hurry, we're at the fast food this, the fast food that, the fast that. We've got to take ourselves and adjust ourselves to eating habits.
You know, Bertrand, one of the things that Irvin and I talk about quite often is that in small business, it's much like being on an airplane ride. And, you know, as soon as there's danger or there's a problem on an airplane and the masks fall, you know, the instruction is to put your own mask on first before you can assist and help the person sitting next to you. And I think small business is the same way. Many entrepreneurs, they sacrifice themselves, which in their minds is probably
heroic,
and to further or advance the business. But quite honestly, you're doing more harm to the business if you put yourself in a position to where you're in poor health, you're not at optimal performance. I
believe that.
You know, so you have to take time, and it's hard to tell some people that. I mean, especially yourself, Bishop. I mean, you said you're a football player, and all you know is one speed, and that's go. You know, and so at some point you got to be able to break it into second gear. And I think you and I, Bertrand, have even talked about, you know, how much time do you want to work each and every day?
Well, I think it's okay to be out of balance for a season of your life. We've talked about that before. There's, you know, you can break it up into, for this season, for the next 24 months, whatever it is, I'm going to be out of balance working. And I'm going to know at that point that I've hit some mile markers and I'm making the revenue and the income that I want to make, and I'll dial it. But it doesn't have to be a lifestyle forever.
Starting point.
Exactly.
Correct. I agree. And I'm sorry.
No, go right ahead.
You know, and another thing I've noticed as well is that with me, I make time even for our family. I make time for the kids in the midst of all that we're doing. I've learned that the hard way. You know, the old saying is, Mama taught me that bought sense was better than any.
That's right.
So I paid cash for mine.
Same here. Sometimes I paid twice.
So we learn from our mistakes.
Well, and you know, I do believe as well, you know, that it's okay to be out of balance for a season.
Sure.
I mean, sometimes, I mean, let's be honest, entrepreneurship does call for that. Sometimes you have to make a sacrifice somewhere else in your life. You know, but you can't continue. An engine, is not designed to do 200 miles an hour each and every time you start the engine.
Right.
At some point, you got to go to idle. At some point, you got to go into park. And your business has to be looked at the exact same way.
Right.
So I appreciate you and honor you for sharing that story, because some people aren't, they don't want to share that type of information, but people do need to hear that.
Right. It's very important, I tell you, because what good is a business being thriving or business going where you want it to go and you're not around to enjoy it?
That's right.
That's one of the things that I had to learn the hard way, is that I want to not just structure this and set it up for me and my family and our ministry, but I want to enjoy it myself.
Yeah.
I just don't want everybody else to, I want them to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
But I want to be there with them.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to build it and then you exit
off the scene.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the name of the company is called Payton's Blend Coffee. If you'd like to try some, you can give the Payton Company a call at 888-550-4619. Again, that number is 888-550-4619. And their website is paytonsblend.com, and that's spelled Paytons, paytonsblend.com. Now, give me an indication of where you see the company in the next 3 years.
To be very honest with you, right now we're talking the chain stores.
Okay.
We're talking to retail shops, restaurants, hotels. To put a number on it, it would be astronomical, and people would probably say, this guy is crazy. Where did he come from? But if you take a look at the coffee industry and the demand for coffee, we should be at a $5, $10, $20 million in 1 year easy.
Okay.
I see that being chump change, actually.
Yeah. Well, and as you put it, I guess having these outlets distributing that coffee for you, that definitely would help.
Makes a world of difference.
So I guess part of your plan is to get this coffee into as many stores and grocery stores, restaurants, and bars, nightclubs as possible. Yeah,
that's right. And the good thing about it, you got so many chain stores out there.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of you knocking on the right doors at the right time.
Absolutely.
So what we're doing, we're knocking on their doors, introducing ourselves, let them know who we are, what we have to offer. And it's working thus far. It really is. And our company is, we'll be structured within the next 30 days. We'll be on the internet. We'll be on YouTube. We'll be on, you name it, we'll be there.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be watching for you, and I expect big things from Payton's Blend Coffee. And Oscar, I want to say thank you so much for coming in, talking about your business. We wish you much success, and please do feel free to come back as soon as you've done something that you want to talk about.
Thank you guys so much for having us. We're excited about it, and we just look forward to the future. Praise God.
Thank you very much. The name of the coffee is called Payton's Blend. If you'd like to go to their website, you can do so by going to paytonsblend.com. The telephone number, if you'd like to order yourself some coffee, is 888-550-4619, and that's toll-free, 888-550-4619. This segment was brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It is the magazine for and about Houston's entrepreneurs, full of tips, tools, and strategies that are guaranteed to empower your small business. To get your free copy, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Give us your email address, and we'll send you one each and every month. More in a moment with Mr. Bertrand and Mr. John Cruz. We'll be right back.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
Or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
So how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting at a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today was Mr. Oscar Payton. He was the CEO and founder of a company called Payton's Blend Coffee. A very lovely man. We enjoyed his story, and we appreciate him for coming on the show. But Bertrand, I thought that you and I would probably take this last couple of segments and talk about something that all small business people deal with. And that is small business depression.
Small business depression.
And
defined as?
Well, defined as, you know, you get to that point in your business or in your business life where you're having zero growth. Okay. You're probably experiencing some level of shrinkage. You feel that perhaps your market is moving away from you. You don't know how to regain that market share, the things that you think that you need to do in your business. You don't know how to accomplish those things. There may be funding that you need. Your business may need some level of overhauling, or refitting or reformatting, and you just get to that point to where you want to give up.
And you don't know how to get over to the next level.
You don't know how to get
so
to the
you
next
kind of
level.
lost your small business mojo.
You lost your mojo.
Okay.
And I don't know, have you ever been there?
Of course.
And so how did you deal with it?
I just think it goes back to, the default position for me is what is your mindset? That's the default position. I mean, I can always, if I'm there, I can remain resourceful enough to find a solution.
Okay.
If I'm not there, if I haven't practiced that and that's not in my wheelhouse, that's not my tool bag, I don't know what you do if you don't have that in your mindset.
I wanted to give some tips, if you will, on what you could do to get yourself jump started, to get your creativity flowing again. And the whole reason that I'm bringing this up is because I've had a couple conversations in the last week or two from individuals that have done some really good things in small business that I myself respect these individuals, but they've gotten to a point where I've never seen them at before.
Okay.
And they're going through a level of depression where they're just tired.
Okay.
And you almost want to give up, but you know that giving up isn't the option. You know that perhaps if you are a staunch entrepreneur, that taking a job is not a long-term option for you. But these are some things that I think that you could do that would help you overcome that level of depression that has set in with many entrepreneurs. And the first thing that I would say is focus on what makes you happy. Some of us are in businesses, or our business has grown and pushed us to a corner at which we're a shell of what we once were, and we're just not happy. That thing happened to me when I was in the mortgage business.
Right.
I had gotten to a point in 2004 that I just wasn't happy running a mortgage banking operation anymore. And instead of me continuing to fight and figure out how to be profitable, I decided to sell while my business still had value, and I got out of it and I did something different.
So let me ask you this. So you're in that position, you're pushed over into a corner, you're a shell of what you were before when you started. Do you think part of that is you've removed yourself from the creation part of running that business and you were just doing the daily management of that business?
Well, me, myself, and I can only speak for me in that instance, is that I was not involved in the daily management so much. I had managers that were in place that handled the day-to-day operations, but the bottom line came down to me. If there was going to be a shortfall for the quarter, I had to figure out and maneuver the business so that we could keep our employees. I had to be the visionary for the company. I was also the head of training. And I'll tell you, one of the things that just burned me out is that everybody in the mortgage business, it was very easy for somebody to become your competition. So as soon as you trained someone, taught them the business, 6, 8, or 9 months later, they then became, your competition.
Right.
So we became a breeding ground for producing talent, and I had to continue to reinvent ourselves every 6 months, and I got burned out, just like a lot of entrepreneurs do.
Absolutely.
So, now, the next thing that I would say is that if you're at a point to where you're depressed and you don't know what to do, the very next thing that you should focus on is volunteering your time.
Okay, tell me about that. Is that about getting off of your own issues and serving someone?
Absolutely. That's exactly what that's about. Go down to one of these homeless shelters. Go down to a burns victim ward. Go to a hospice care and donate your time. And I think the thing that you'll find, Bertrand, is that if the only problems that you have are financial, well, let me just tell you, you ain't got any problems.
Wow.
I mean, when you meet people who there's no amount of money that could change their life condition or position, then you start to really take into perspective, that you are abundantly blessed, even though at that particular moment in your life you may not have achieved everything that you've sought after. But one of the things that you can be thankful for is that you're not them.
Right.
And so if you want to jar yourself, shock yourself into reality, donate your time, volunteer, and go to where the need is great. And I think that gives you some perspective.
And I think it also it's a movement of getting off, stop fixating on your own issues.
Yes.
And go reach out and serve someone else, because I think we're designed that way. We're designed to serve other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels good.
It does.
It feels good.
Absolutely.
Next thing I'd say, don't become an island.
Thank you.
Misery loves company. And so instead of you becoming an island or joining an island of miserable people, choose to only be around prosperous company. I know that for myself, when things were going bleak and I was losing everything, I did not want to hear about anybody else's success. But that's where I was making my mistake.
Yep.
I had to go and embrace that, continue to find those people who have figured it out, who are doing successful things, and let that energy, that positive energy, get into me, my thinking, my actions, instead of running away from it and finding someone else to be miserable with.
There's no question about it. It creates a inertia of its own, sitting by yourself and dwelling on what you're doing wrong.
You get caught into an orbit of a planet that's desolate, dark, nothing happens.
Full of craters.
Well, yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that orbit. So break yourself out of that. And then the thing I'd say is network. People are your greatest resource.
They are.
And you have to get out there and tap that resource.
Absolutely.
I can't think of any greater resource secondary to your time than people. So if you need sales, if you need business, if you need partners, if you need ideas, if you need
champions for your cause,
if you need champions for your cause,
absolutely.
It's going to be your network. You got to get out there and meet people.
You have to.
And if you're a God-fearing person, I always say God will only do for you that which he can do through you or other people.
Right.
So you have to network, give other people the opportunity to step into your life and change your life.
Right.
And be willing to invite them, engage them, open yourself up.
Yeah, that's huge.
Now, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back. We're going to close the show out. I have lots more comments like this that we probably won't get around to today, but perhaps, Bertrand, you'll come back and you and I will do a whole show about these.
That'd be great.
Oh, I think
Wouldn't it be awesome?
If you're going through any type of misery in your business or business depression, Bertrand and I right now are talking about a few things that you can do to change your orbit, to change your outlook, get the creative juices flowing again. So stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Vitality. Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is?
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. You see that my co-host today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry, who is the owner of the Referral Institute of Houston. Irvin is out today. He's on location. He will be out for a few days. He's doing some work out of town. And Bertrand, I appreciate you for coming in and sitting through the show.
No problem. Loved it.
And we're talking right now about being entrepreneurially depressed. If you're a small business person and you're experiencing some depression, you're not getting the results and the outcomes that you want, we've just sort of given a few hints as to what you could do. But Bertrand, you mentioned a good one at the break.
I think a great one is to just form an informal board of advisors.
Yes.
5 to 7 people that you meet maybe once a quarter, and you put before that group, hey, here are the issues I'm dealing with, and those people, no one wants to be part of a losing team, so everybody brings their A game.
Surely.
And they're honored that they're on your team, that they're on this board of directors, and so you get all of these great ideas that you would have totally missed.
Right.
And you get new lifeblood, new energy. People are invested in your company. They want to help you grow, so they're bringing their best.
Now, a question that someone may ask is, how do I encourage those persons to be a part of my informal board of directors?
Well, I can give you a letter that I've sent out before. You can put it on your website if you like, but it's you just send a letter, a formal email that says, I've been looking at forming this board of directors. I'm very selective. You have been selected by me, and I would want to ask if you will serve on this board. Basically, 4 times a year. Here are the benefits. You'll be a part of our growth. So forth and so on. Several things on there, and just ask them. Give them a couple of days to think about it and let you know.
And if I may also add that if you're going to do this and you're going to ask someone to give of valuable time to your business issues and problems, I think that you should be prepared to do something in return for that board. If it's no more than buying them lunch when you meet, do something to show whatever level of appreciation that you can show. Become a champion for their businesses. If you can find anyone that's in need of their products or services, I would definitely encourage you to refer as much business as you possibly can to them. Can someone email you if they want a copy of that letter?
Yes, Bertrand at referralinstitutehouston.com.
And Bertrand is spelled?
BERTRAND.
Bertrand at referralinstitutehouston.com. And if you want a copy of that letter, this is the place, guys, where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. We always encourage your questions, your comments. We're going to close today's show out with some great information from Bertrand. Again, if you'd like to contact him, you can do so at Bertrand at referralinstitutehouston.com. Well, that brings us to the close of a good day. You're going to come back with me tomorrow?
Yeah, it'd be great. Tomorrow and Wednesday?
Tomorrow and Wednesday.
Awesome.
Urban's out, so you and I'll take the reins and do what we do.
Excellent.
Guys, we want to thank you for tuning in to Small Business Today, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today magazine. It's the magazine that's forward about Houston's entrepreneurs. To get your copy, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. And until tomorrow, be smart, be successful, and above all else, be in action. And Bertrand and I will see you tomorrow.